The pastor of an East Texas church dies after confronting a man with a gun who'd been hiding from police in the church. The pastor was shot this morning in Winona, which is east of Dallas. 2 people were also injured, one from a gunshot wound, another who fell down running for cover. The sheriff says the shooting did not have a religious motive.
This is a crime of opportunity for this suspect. The church just happened to be here. It could have been one of his houses here that he went inside, but he knew the people were there.
After the shooting, the man stole the pastor's car and took off. He was arrested by deputies in a nearby county. The sheriff said the shooter will likely face a capital murder charge.
We're covering some breaking news on this Sunday. As you can see, just behind a very active scene still here at a church in Winona, Texas. This is just northeast of the Tyler area. And so we just wrapped a press conference here with Larry Christian of the Smith County Sheriff's Office, learning some new details about just what unfolded before church this morning. So we're learning that last night a chase happened in multiple East Texas counties. Along I-20 at one point, speeds in excess of 125 miles an hour. We've learned that suspect then made his way, I'll take you around over here, down this road, coming over here and going through the grass here, his car eventually ending up near the church, where he then left his car and hid out in the church there. And then this morning, we're told that the pastor of this church encountered the suspect in the bathroom, noticed that he was hiding out in there. The pastor himself had a firearm on him, and there was apparently a scuffle at some point between the suspect and the pastor. That suspect eventually getting the pastor's gun, and he was able to shoot him, killing him, the pastor of that church. And now we're told a few others are injured and are currently being treated at Tyler area hospitals. But right now, the suspect has been apprehended in Harrison County through OnStart by tracking the vehicle that the suspect was in. So that suspect in custody right now, but still a very active scene here, and a very sad day as the pastor of this church has died.
His car gave out on him because most of the parts, the engine parts, were left laying over there. So it's.
So did you wake up to this?
We were sitting there watching TV. It's a little bit after 8, I believe, and so naturally we jumped up and I went out. Policemen were out there, and as soon as I went out there, this one policeman who was very nice said, you need to go back inside because we're looking for somebody that pointed a gun at an officer, and so you need to go back inside. So I went back inside. Several times after that, I came out to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I went out and said, y'all been out here quite a while. It's cold out here. Can I make you a pot of coffee? So, anyway.
How many years have you?
A manhunt lasted for about a little over 2 hours. We had drones, we had canines here in the area for a little over 2 hours with no success in locating the person. So at 9:21 this morning, apparently the person disappeared into the woods when he bailed out after he was wrecked out by DPS. Disappeared into the woods. We had a manhunt with canines and drones and quite a few personnel for about a little over 2 hours. And then fast forward to this morning at 9:21, the pastor and several other people, the pastor's wife, and a couple more individuals went into the church. Nothing out of the ordinary. As the pastor opened the bathroom door, he was confronted by the individual who had been hiding in the church, who apparently had fled into the woods, and after everybody left, after the manhunt, retreated into the church. The pastor, who had a firearm himself, apparently drew his firearm on the individual and ordered him to stop. He starts coming towards the front door. Then he turns around and lunges at the pastor and is able to disarm the pastor, it appears, at this time. And used hit the pastor's firearm is the one he used. The pastor is deceased at this time. We have another individual due to a fall that's being treated at local Tyler Hospital. And then we have a second victim here at this location that has gunshot wounds that's undergoing surgery at this time, and unknown right now what his condition is. We were able to get a description of the pastor's vehicle, which was stolen, to make his exit out of the scene here, and was able to work through some OnStar technology, find the vehicle. Got a Harrison County deputy that got in behind it, and the vehicle was disabled, and the subject was taken into custody in Harrison County this morning. We've already had deputies on the scene over there and picked up the suspect. He's en route back to the Tyler Hospital. He suffered a gunshot wound, through and through wound to his left hand, I believe. So he's en route to the Tyler Hospital. One thing, I'm going to back up a little bit. When the pastor confronted this individual in the bathroom, he had one of the red bank bags that belonged in the church in his hand. That, and as well as taking the pastor's vehicle, we're looking at a capital murder investigation here. With everything put together, it will be investigated as a capital murder, presented to the district attorney's office in Smith County as a capital murder case. There's some more information coming through, but until I can confirm it, I'm not going to release it yet. But maybe later this afternoon, we'll have additional information. But I'll open it to any questions.
Do we have a total number of how many people were injured?
We have 2 injured by gunshot, 2 victims here. The suspect injured by gunshot. And at this time, we don't know when that occurred. And then a female victim is injured and taken to the hospital due to a fall.
So was it was before the start of their church service?
Yes.
Okay.
From what I can gather right now, I think there was only about 4 people in the church at the time.
And no affiliation between...
Nothing related to this time about any religious beliefs or anything to do with church. The church just happened to be the location that he was able to get into and take refuge during the night as we were after we left the scene.
Do you know what he was taking refuge from?
Well, from a pursuit. We don't know why we were pursuing him to start with.
Yeah. Is that the same? When did the pursuit happen?
About 7:30 last night.
So, okay. Yeah, because we had heard about a pursuit last night. I'm not sure if it was possibly the same one. Was it on I-20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of it was.
And it was the pastor's gun that was ultimately...
That's what we believe at this time.
Did the church have any security at that time?
Well, obviously, 2 people in the church of the 4 are carrying, but that's one of the. That's a firearm. Was one of them disarmed? One that was used to commit the homicide.
You have a suspect.
I'm not releasing anything on suspect information at this time. We are in the process of obtaining arrest warrants. We're obtaining the vehicle. We're taking custody of the vehicle from the pursuit last night, as well as the pastor's vehicle that he used to get away with. And those will be processed by crime scene after they get through the scene.
What's the current condition of the suspect and the surviving victims?
Well, I don't know about the victim that went to the Tyler Hospital. The suspect has a through gunshot wound in the hand. So, as far as I'm concerned, minor injury.
Is the name of the pastor being released at this time?
No, not releasing the name of any victims or suspect at this time. We may be able to do that later this afternoon.
And then have you ever
That'll be in the form of a press release.
Have you ever heard of? We've seen, of course, we see some shootings here in Texas, previously. Have you ever heard of someone, hiding out in the church? Most times I feel like when I've heard the story, they just come into and they sat during the congregation.
Well, this is not, as far as I'm concerned, this is not a church-related, religion-related offense. this is an opportunity. It was convenient for the guy to come out of the woods. It was cold last night, found him a warm place to stay, and apparently he was still there when they came to church this morning.
Okay, so he was in the church all night before everyone came in.
We know he was in the church after we left at 10:30, from somewhere from 10:30 p.m. until 9:20 this morning. He got in the church.
But it's unclear right now when exactly he got in the church.
Yes.
Okay.
And sir, shootings like these that happen, they're so unprecedented, but just as a sheriff, as an officer, is there anything that churches can start to do to prevent things like this happening? Up security, what can they do to keep in mind in situations like this?
They did everything that we would tell anybody to do. They're carrying, but the thing about it is, and I really don't want to get off into it, but if you're going to carry a firearm, you got to be willing to use it. And I'm not second guessing, especially second guessing the pastor by any means right now. You got a much younger person, more agile person than able to overcome and take a gun. But this isn't just related, again, this is a crime of opportunity for this suspect. The church just happened to be here. It could have been one of his houses here that he went inside, but he knew the people were there. You know that nobody at nighttime is at a church. So I believe he probably just got there to seek shelter.
What kind of pursuit was taking place overnight?
The pursuit began at 7:30 in Lindale.
I'm so sorry, I'm talking about after the pursuit. By the time, once it was realized that he got away, what kind of overnight, I guess, searching for the suspect was still taking place?
We had deputies in the area probably most of the
Canines,
night.
drones.
The actual search with drones and canines lasted a little over 2 hours.
And was he on foot when he escaped it?
Yes.
Because we see the
vehicle
tracks.
went through the yard here, and it was a DPS unit crashed into the vehicle, the side of the vehicle, deployed all the airbags. The suspect jumped out of the vehicle and ran into the woods.
Okay, did the crash happen right here?
The crash happened, it came through the intersection right here, had a blowout, went through the yard here, veered off to the right, and to the left of the pine trees up there is where the came to rest, where the trooper hit him in the side.
And I'm sorry, you said you don't know the initial cause of the first pursuit.
No.
Okay.
Obviously, we didn't get him stopped to find out, but there are the license plates that were being displayed on the vehicle were fictitious. Okay. They didn't belong on that vehicle.
Interesting. Okay.
How long was the deputy placed at the crash for?
I'm sorry?
How long was the deputy placed at the crash for after that happened? How long were you investigating the actual crash?
Well, DPS investigated the crash. They were in lead in the pursuit at that time. DPS investigated the crash. We looked for the suspect, the sheriff's office and other local law enforcement.
I'm just trying to clear up, do we know how long someone was actually stationed out here between...
Till 10:30.
Okay.
Is there anything you think people with the church and these nearby houses should know about the safety of the area right now?
Well, the area is safe now. Obviously, he's in custody as lone actor. Nobody else here needs to be in fear for anything. We'll be out here into the night tonight, I'm sure, processing the scene. All the danger is gone now. He fled the scene. We got him arrested in Harrison County, and he'll be taken after he leaves the hospital for treatment to his gunshot wound in his hand. He'll be taken and interviewed at the sheriff's office.
When he was apprehended in Harrison County, do you know how that happened? How he was found?
Yeah, I spoke earlier, the OnStar.
Okay.
I'm good.
I think that's everything.
I think we got everything.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.